Welcome to Bad Quality. This show is summoned to another world for a second time. I suffered through it for a couple of hours because I wanted to see the end. We start out with good old protagonist, which I'm going to write on a napkin. It's that kind of quality. It's that kind of quality. He's got a big, happy smile. That's him there. He goes to another world for the second time because it's been 5 years since he's seen all of his friends. I'm not writing stick figures for the entirety of them. But something bad has happened and he has to solve problems. So he goes to different kingdoms. All two. And in these happenings, he has to save people who are being attacked by evil McHenchmans. Evil McHenchmans want to destroy the world. That's it. Evil McHenchmans want to destroy the world because other protagonist. This is a very bad depiction, but what do you expect from bad quality entertainment? Is very upset because protagonist one, oh hey, look, this actually comes into play. How cool am I? Protagonist one didn't affirm his wants for a gay relationship between the two of them. This is heart is broken, is shattered, it's gone. He's angry. So he gets a group that wants to kill all races because if everyone's dead except for him and his 4 henchmen, which consist of Magic Man, that I skipped over his plot because he died. His plot. I don't even think he died. Maybe he may not die. He's like after all of the other ones, so I skipped and I don't care. All of the other ones were so bad. And then I should probably start at the first one. The first one is little girl. Little girl can control monsters because she is a freak with 3 lungs because people put lungs in her. People put lungs in her because they wanted a super soldier with 3 lungs. And then she got really sad. So she wanted to kill everyone. But then she's killed by the power of family, by her big sister that isn't her big sister, stabbing her in the back. That because the big sister understood that she didn't need to suffer with that 3rd lung, so she died. She's gone, out of the story. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. She showed up for like 10 minutes, and she showed up for a wagon ride, and then she turned out to be evil. And then they figured it out, and then they battled her, and they got away. But then she came for the final battle, and they killed her. Who cares? The second one What was the second one? It was the. It was her. It was one. It was that guy. There were four, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's adult woman. Adult woman had her sisters put into her, and now she can get many arms out of her back. And she ended out being killed by her sisterhood orphans because no, she was just defeated. They kicked her ass, and you know how they joined together into one super orphan, and they defeated her, and and, and then there's the big strong man. The big strong man. He's Magneto, but it's because he's made out of metal and he can turn himself into parts that come off. And he beats the shit. He turns himself into like big, like bowling balls, and they just like pummel this little child. This little child that's fighting him. And the little child almost dies, but she's the princess of the beast men. So that means that she develops a power at last minute, just like the orphans, last minute magic power, Deus Ex Machina. And he's heard of this before, even though it's never been fucking said in the plot, that the royals of the beast people can get like superpowers when they're about to die, and then she punches him and he dies a proud homosexual, and she's about to die, but then he uses his power to give her life, and he has to die for some reason because we can't have homosexual characters. Except for this guy. We don't talk about this guy in this situation. That's an exception. This guy, he had to die because he was like flagrantly flamboyant. This guy, just short. Um, and, and he's dead. And this guy has some sort of grievance with power because he has power and he didn't have power before and things were taken from him. So now he's like, I'm gonna take away people from the world because my family or something was taken away. I don't know. I only watched the first couple of minutes of the battle, but that's what happened. And then the final showdown comes, and he's in the room with these. Also, keep in mind, they had a sworn pact when they were brought into this world to be best friends and to save the world together. And once number one saved the world, he just belittled the fuck out of number two. Number one is the protagonist of this show, by the way. He's shown to be a good guy, quote unquote, even though he just fucking. This guy was like beat the shit out of emotionally. He's just a bad person. He may be the good guy. He's a bad person. We need to establish this. So they're flying through the air, and his sword becomes a gun. And he shoots him, and he's thrown back. but it's okay because his sword becomes a gun and he shoots him, and then he has to make a big power to defeat him. Do you know what he does? A bigger gun that shoots him, and he's thrown back. So you know what he has to do? A bigger gun! And he shoots him, and he has to figure out a better power. And a, big, a bigger gun. A bigger gun. Also, he becomes like a biblically accurate angel, but only for a moment. And then he goes back to big God and shoots him, and then he stabs him wherever through. Oh yeah. They end up shooting each other out of the sky, and then they're having the big duel of fates on the same bridge that they fought before. Once he like completely forgot about his friend and didn't care about him anymore, he got upset and then it was like, I'm gonna fight you. And they fought on this bridge 5 years ago, and now they're fighting again. And now they're a sword fight, and then he gets powers, the same powers that she got, and the orphan got, the power of friendship. And he beats him, but he doesn't die. Because they work things out, and then everything is back to normal, except the races that were genocided and the people that had to die for no reason, and the child soldiers. Actually, we can look at the fuck. We can look at the show. Let's see what this show has to offer. So you see, they fight, and he's looking, and he's fighting, and he brings out his powers, and you know what his powers is. His powers is a gun. And then he does a bigger gun, and then he uses his two swords, and then they're looking back through the past, and he's sad because of the past, and he becomes a biblically accurate angel, and then he becomes a bigger gun, and then he gets the gun, and then it's more flashbacks, and then bigger gun, and then they're angry, and they fight, and he uses the power of friendship to defeat him, because he's the big sad and all alone because all of his friends were killed or knocked unconscious. And then he's captured, and then everyone's forgiven, and then everyone's happy, and then everyone's happy, and the end. I wasted like 6 hours of my life watching this stupid fucking